Hello! My name's Tori Ann Perky, and from my homeschool to your homeschool, I want to talk about bite-sized reading. So if you've been in homeschooling at all, you probably have heard the idea that doing read-aloud books, is a really good idea. And I'm a huge proponent of read-aloud books. This is where you pull your kids together, you sit down on the couch, and you read a book together. Or you're in the car and you're listening to a book together. I love this idea to encourage and invite, and it's just such a sweet, sweet experience. Except when the toddler's pulling the book out or someone's complaining. Like there are moments when it's tough, but if you keep at it, this can become a time that's really, really sweet and a wonderful memory for you and your family. But there's this extra little thing that happens that I don't think we talk about very much, that for me was this huge aha about why read-alouds are so important. So when you're reading a book by yourself, or a kid is reading a book, they get to decide how much they read. And depending on how much of a reader you have, they may read chapters and chapters and chapters at a time. And some kids are consumers, like they just suck up that reading. And others struggle. I get that. I've got both ends of the spectrum over here, and some do struggle. But even those, like if they pick up something they're really interested in, they'll read till they're done reading. Well, what I found, and the thing I need to tell you is that I am a really fast reader. I read really, really fast. So when I pick up a book, I suck it up, but I don't read every word. So I don't always get the description. I don't always get the names. Like my experience with books is very plot driven or very big picture driven. I don't always catch all the details. That's just how I read. And I have a kid who's like that too. And I've got others that read every word and they're slower, and that's totally fine. But my point is, when you do a read aloud, you tend to do it in smaller bite-sized pieces, which has this unique advantage that it ends up stretching over a long period of time. And what I found is that when you stretch a book out over a long period of time, you and your family are going to have a different emotional experience with the characters, with the plot, with the story. It's going to end up being a richer, deeper, savory experience. It's like deciding whether you're going to eat the entire bag of Oreos all at once, or you're going to eat just one and you're going to make it last, and you're going to just every little bit, right? Right? Like which one do you actually enjoy more? Okay, I know that a bag of Oreos tastes really good, but I've done that and it's not good. Like you don't like yourself at the end and you don't feel good. But when you just savor that one Oreo and someone takes the rest away so you're not tempted, it's just such a different experience. And the book is the same way. I remember reading, particularly the one that just stands out in my mind, is we read Winnie the Pooh together. And I loved Winnie the Pooh, and we read it over a long period of time because my kids were little and they needed it in bite-sized pieces. And we got to the end, and I'm crying, I'm sobbing, because these characters they've become my friends, and it's because it took us 3 months to read the book, and I was just savoring every last word because we were reading it slowly and in bite-sized pieces. And the other thing is that when you get to experience it in pieces, you and your kids are growing and developing, your kids in particular. Oh, sorry, my phone just went off. Your kids are growing and developing as they're learning the story, and the story is being put into their life in bits and pieces, and so you can reference it because you're not reading it all at once. It's happening little bits at a time, and so it becomes this overarching part of your life. So bite-sized reading, I love it. Now, to make it a little bit easier, I do have something free for you. I have a free reading list that I've compiled. I went through lots of different resources and reading lists, and I put them all together into one space. And I want to offer that to you. So if you want to click on the link, it's going to take you, put in your email, tell me where to send it, and I will send that list to your inbox. It has hundreds of books for all different ages that make fabulous read-alouds. I'm Tori Ann Perky, and I make these videos every week so that you can be a super successful and confident homeschool mom.